I don't do
energy,
cardio.
speed.
I don't do cardio.
No cardio.
No cardio.
Not even 150 minutes a week. Like a base.
150 minutes a week.
Yeah, like a minimum.
That's no. Oh God, no.
So
I
you're
walk my
concerned
dog.
with longevity. You're taking NMN, but you're not doing the cardio. Coach Greg, and I'm here with Al Dura. We're in Canada, Montreal. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to see you.
That's fantastic. Now, little did you know, me and this guy, we competed against it back in
2012.
2012.
Yeah.
You won middleweight, I won light heavy. We both went on to turn pro. We've competed against each other. This guy, a Mr. Olympia competitor, and so he has a vast array of knowledge. He has over 1 million followers on YouTube. He's got an Arabic channel. Is it
Arabic? Yeah, Arabic.
Arabic channel,
yeah.
and he's starting off an English channel. Go and follow this guy. Check him out. He's a monster. What are you, 5'5", 210?
I think I'm your height, maybe just a tiny bit shorter. Yeah, 5'5" and a half.
I'm feeling tall, but remember, I'm tall in the upper body. I have very short legs. That's why I'm
I
a
have
short guy.
long legs, short upper body.
And so we're the exact opposites.
Yeah.
We could trade our bodies. We could actually be one tall person.
We could
make up for
I
one
think,
tall
sir, there's
person.
a lengthening surgery going on.
There is. I actually did a video on this.
Really?
Did you ever get that?
I don't think so, no.
It's too much pain. If I could snap my fingers and pay 100 grand and grow a couple inches,
But it's like,
I would do it.
why though? Why
I'd
would
love
you
to be
do that?
tall. I always wanted to be taller when I was a kid.
Of course, like me too, especially in school, and all the kids were taller than me. But like, did you see how they do it?
It takes like 6 months.
Do you walk around
Leg
with like the
pain.
things inside?
Your leg would atrophy. It would take 6 months to recover. It's a lot of work.
No, just
So we're really short, but does it really matter? I don't
think so.
really care. But if I could snap my fingers and get taller, well, I'm doing
Did you
it.
see the guy who did it?
Yes. He was 5'5" and now he's 6 feet tall. He grew 7 inches. It was cost like 100 grand.
Yeah, 100 grand.
That's a lot of height
Just
to grow.
go buy a Corvette or something.
Yeah, exactly. You can literally do that. Or
Yeah.
they have shoes that make you taller.
Yeah, the 3-inch.
That's a little bit easier.
Yeah, it would. And then
Hey.
like by the time you guys go back to his house or whatever, it's kind of too late.
A lot of
Can't
people
back
are
out.
critical of this, but like my honest opinion, girls can get BBLs, breast implants,
Everything.
ass implants, every freaking thing in their face.
But if we do it, it's like no. It's like no, we're frowned upon, not allowed. We're liars and fake advertising.
Yeah.
Then you go home and the second they wipe, it's completely.
So personally, do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
All right, so we got several questions. We're gonna get right into it. You ready?
yeah, let's go.
Okay, we're looking for honest, unfiltered, unbiased answers, and so let's get started. You've developed varicose veins, and I wonder if that was triggered by PD use or high blood pressure. I know you take your health seriously, so it'd be cool to hear how you stay healthy at such a high body mass.
So the varicose, I think it's right here on my
Holy
shoulders.
crap. Yeah,
So
ton of veins.
I
like
think-
normal,
yeah,
wild.
a little bit. So I think this only developed after my shoulder surgery. And I asked the doctor, I don't know if they're right or not, but they said usually when you have like an injury in one place, it kind of develops a lot, it becomes more vascular around the area. I'm not sure what the theory is behind that, but that's the only place where I'm kind of like really, really vascular. Obviously, like rest of my body parts, they do have a little bit more veins, but they're not like spider veins like that. So I don't think it has anything to do with the PED use or the high blood pressure. I monitor my blood pressure and I'm fine, knock on wood.
And so you get your regular blood work done. We're talking about this before we even met here, and you're really an advocate for healthy living and making sure that you're not doing anything too dangerous.
Yeah, especially with the heart. Like with, every year we're hearing like tons of, not tons, I mean, relatively a few bodybuilders passing. I'm the paranoid type. I think having a little bit of paranoia is good. So every year I have to do a full heart checkup, and I do the CT angio scan, which is like when you go under the MRI machine and they put like the dye in your veins, and then they kind of see like a whole scan of all the arteries and all the veins in your body to see if there's any like blockages. I do a calcium score once a year, ECG, EKG. I don't know if these are the same things or not.
So you're doing everything that I hear that you can do to be healthy. Now, today, as we're filming this, Joe Linder, we just found out he passed away.
Yeah, that's horrible
Guy's
news.
30.
Yeah.
And he wasn't really abusing. I mean, he took a bit in the past. He was on lower doses now. So, I mean, it's really tragic. Does that scare you? Does it freak you out? I'm on HRT right now. It freaks me out.
I'm a little bit I'm probably 3 times on HRT. I'm doing 500 a week.
Yep.
I do that in summer. In winter times, I'm back down to HRT, basic dose. But when it comes to summer, I do bump up a little bit, especially if I'm not competing now. I always tell you know, the people who follow me, these health issues, I would almost say it's 100% genetics.
100% genetics. I would say it's 50-50. I think there's a predisposition, like if you're born with certain things about your body, some people just have higher blood pressure than others, smaller arteries, bigger arteries, less thickening. I mean,
I would say it's a lot more than 50-50, like a lot more contribution to genetics, because you see, do you know that there are no athletes, like professional athletes, that have lived beyond 100 years old?
none ever. That's not the stat I've ever looked at.
Yeah, none.
But come to think of it, I can't.
And there are none. Like Babe Ruth, all the legends
all
of
the
baseball,
best athletes in the world.
no one lived beyond 100 years old. And when you look at the people, it's always that old lady or old guy who always, you know, they don't eat well, they don't exercise, that's for sure. And it's always like, oh, I eat chocolate every day. That's my contribution to long health. I eat chocolates and stay away from men. I think that's purely genetics. Smokers. So my dad just quit smoking recently.
Yeah.
He's 72. He went to Germany, had all these blood tests done, everything, like full everything. And his lungs were perfectly normal. Guy's been smoking for like 30 years.
You know, sometimes I think what it is that people who are athletes, they're maximizing their muscle, they're working out really hard. And so the more you live at the top, it shortens your life. Like to me, I don't know if you agree with this. If you take growth hormone, increase IGF-1 levels, you're gonna feel younger, perhaps look younger, but you're borrowing from your future. Like you feel better now in exchange for not living as long in the future. That's why I'm not personally using growth hormone. I would want to. I would if I could, but I just am too scared that it'll shorten my life.
Do you think this is the turtle and rabbit kind of theory? Like the turtles outlive everything else?
I think the more hardcore you are growing up, the more muscle you have, the harder you go, the better you feel and look now, but you're taking away from your future.
There's a theory there. Like we should explore that sometime on why athletes don't really live past
It's a
100.
great point. I had never thought of it like that. Is there something going on? Why are people not living to be 100?
And you think they should be. So apparently what I read is that it has to do with sweating too much. And when you sweat, you lose very important minerals and like magnesium and things like that actually contribute to longer health.
To changing the topic back, this guy he asked about NMN. He says, I know he takes NMN, and so NMN is in GO2 Max. You guys all know my spiel about GO2 Max. It's my #1 supplement, but why do you take NMN?
Honestly, so I saw the Joe Rogan podcast.
With Andrew Huberman.
Yeah.
And you saw it, and you watched him going on.
I didn't see the whole podcast. I just saw the
clip, the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. And I researched, I went on ChatGPT. And I was like, is NMN good? It's mononucleo.
I can't pronounce it either.
And I
call
kind
it M&Ms. That's the best I can do.
And I kind of Googled it or asked ChatGPT what it does. And the second I saw longevity, and I was like, all right, I'm taking 500 grams.
You're taking 500 milligrams.
Milligrams every morning on an empty stomach.
Yeah, and so it's probably going to benefit you. I mean, I personally think it's a great supplement. I'm using 1200, but I don't know.
1200?
1200.
You can go
to
that high?
maximize endurance for an athlete, that's been shown as the dose to take.
Okay.
They had a study with athletes that were runners and the people that took 1200 versus the placebo versus 300 versus 600. That was the maximum.
I don't do
energy
cardio.
speed.
I don't do cardio.
No cardio.
No cardio.
Not even 150 minutes a week. Like a base.
150 minutes a week.
Yeah, like a minimum.
That's no. Oh God, no.
So you're concerned with longevity. You're taking NMN, but you're not doing the cardio. The cardio.
That goes back to the turtle and the rabbit.
I never said. So remember, I never said hit cardio.
Yeah.
It's not about going crazy.
I think
it's
walk.
Zone 2. There you go.
Okay, walk.
Just like a nice fast walk.
Nice fast walk.
150 minutes a
Yeah, with
week.
my dogs and.
Yeah, so you're doing some cardio.
Some
You're
cardio.
Like, I don't think that running every day, sprinting, training,
can't-
I don't think what I do
I can't
is important. I think you just need to be at a moderate pace. Not like I go crazy. I race on bikes. But the average
Yeah, I saw.
person, they just have fun with cardio, just go out there, go for a fast walk. To me, I think that's going to help you live longer. Has to.
Yeah, I mean, we should look into that. Because like
I
I just found that out very recently about the whole athletes not living long, and I was like,
Yeah.
it's kind of true.
Well,
What's
athletes
going on
are like they're not doing zone 2 cardio. They're going crazy. Guys in the Tour de France, they're racing 5-6 hours a day. To me, that's like, how is that good for you? After a while, you're overused, you're overtraining. It's too
Maybe.
much. Just like having too much muscle. Like even my size is really too much muscle. Yours way more muscle. So
I'm not that. You think I'm not that much?
I weigh 188.
Oh, okay.
You're 210.
Yeah,
That's a lot of
I think
muscle.
maybe you're leaner than me though.
Perhaps, but for your height and weight, it. Not that he's fat, but literally he'd be obese if we did your BMI score.
Yeah, I know that. I know.
As you said, athletes don't live to be 100. Guys who are like 200 and something pounds of muscle.
I've been thinking of competing in classic.
I absolutely would. It's so much safer. That's why I switched from where I was in the 212 as you did to classic, because all of a sudden, I couldn't really take a big cycle because I'd be too heavy.
Yeah.
It just forced me to weigh less.
You know what's interesting is that I haven't been eating like a high protein diet since I stopped. My last show was in Vancouver Pro and I did Dubai Pro. And after that, I just stopped eating a lot of protein. And I'm eating like 3 meals a day. And I haven't noticed much of a change in my physique.
1 gram of protein per pound and basically even 0.8, that's enough.
I think I'm even at around the 0.8, 0.7.
Yeah, kind of I think that's plenty. I don't think there's any benefit.
I didn't notice that much of it, like maybe 15% or 10% difference.
Wow.
And it's like so much easier for me to eat like
carbs, fat.
3 meals. Yeah.
I'd say 4 meals a day, maybe a little snack, like maybe a protein bar.
Yeah, like three whole meals and a shake.
Yeah, like 3 to 4 decent meals and like a protein bar type of thing.
Yeah,
that's
I
do. I'm not into the every 2 hours. That's too much.
Yeah, that's too much. I can't. I don't know how people live like that.
My main question is, how do you not get canceled? He says you talk about all this sensitive topics, and I know you've talked about that before. How are you still on air?
So first of all, my Arabic channel it's not in English, and I really think cancel culture is mostly related to Western content. Like I just did the video. Have you seen that influencer who couldn't fit in the plane?
I did a video on it. Absolutely. That was
so. I just did that in Arabic, and I don't think like all the people commenting were like, yeah, 100%, we agree. Like, why would she get?
So they're more open to people speaking their mind and saying what they think. Over here, they're like judgmental.
Yes and no. So it depends. So I think what this guy is talking about is like, for example, I talked about masturbation. It was one of my first videos. And there's this whole myth about that, masturbation weakens your joints, weakens your eyesight. And I was like,
I never heard of these myths.
Yeah,
like, everyone's doing these no fat videos, hold everything in for what is it? No nut November.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what is this bullshit?
And so I did a video saying that masturbation studies have actually shown that ejaculating 20 times a month reduces the risk of prostate cancer.
It's healthy for you.
It's
good exercise.
So when I said that, like people lost their minds. They're like, oh my God, it's wrong, because it's not like religiously.
It's taboo.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So I think that's what he's talking about. But like really, all what I was doing is just like presenting the science. I'm not telling you to go like jerk off.
Or not.
On Pornhub all day. I'm just saying that it's not as bad as people think it is. And your brain doesn't even know. Like, does it know the difference if you're having sex or?
Probably not. And my honest opinion is that I think people should be allowed to speak their mind and say exactly what they think. And that's what people gravitate towards. Like, if you're honest about your PDUs, imagine if we sit here and say, oh, we're natural. Like, people want to hear that, or they want to hear the truth. What did you actually do? What do you actually take? What do you believe in? Whether it's good or bad, we're not saying that we're right. We're saying this is what we did.
Exactly.
From us.
And the funny part is, it's like, okay, you first start following a person because they're really honest. Like, oh, I like this guy, he's very honest. But then when we're honest about something that you don't agree with, that's when you get all crazy and be like, no, I don't want to hear this.
Yeah, it's like when I say, I'm on 140 milligrams of HRT a week. You're lying, you're on trend, you're on GH, and I'm like, I've been telling the truth all these years. Why would I suddenly just lie?
Why would you pinpoint like a specific,
And it happens all the time. You say something that they don't like, and now they hate you.
But I don't think cancel culture really exists as much in the Middle East.
I think it's ridiculous what's going on here. Like what I've seen happen in the last 10 years, especially in the last 3 years, since the time we have to wear a Halloween mask all the time, we don't even dare say the word.
Scary.
It's crazy. We can't say and be honest, but we're still trying. Hopefully you don't get canceled. He's an Egyptian. I'd love to hear what your favorite traditional foods are, especially meals good for nutrition, dieting, healthy living. Being Egyptian, living in Canada, do you have anything different than it, or is it chicken broccoli?
I eat normal food.
Tell me it's not chicken broccoli.
It's not chicken, I eat red meat. I'm a big red meat. I hate chicken.
Like filet mignon, rare.
Or New York cut. Like I hate
chicken. So you're bored of chicken, but what would you eat with that? So you're a steak guy?
Rice. I love rice. I eat rice.
Plain white, brown,
plain jasmine rice.
Right.
because basmati like needs cleaning and it's too complicated. Jasmine rice, and I love eggs too.
Okay.
I eat 4 eggs a day, every day.
Whole eggs.
Whole eggs every
Do you
day.
believe there's any reason not to, like egg whites versus whole eggs?
So I've had these periods of time where I eat 4 eggs. I've been eating 4 eggs every single day for 6 years.
To me, that's not a lot. 4 is totally reasonable whole eggs in a day. 12 would be.
The only time I noticed an increase in my cholesterol was when I was eating a lot of sugar and junk food. But whole eggs, red meat, when I was just eating those and like stayed away from sugar and junk food, I in fact noticed an improvement in my blood work.
And when you're on a diet, would you go from whole eggs to egg white, or you just always to whole eggs, or do you add in more egg whites on top of that? Or you said you like egg whites.
The first time in my life where I cut whole eggs was in my last prep.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ever gonna do that again.
Okay.
Never. I will never not have whole eggs in the morning. I've been doing this for 6 years. It's like a ritual.
Yeah.
I need my whole eggs, and it has to be 4.
Yeah.
2 is not enough. I need 4, and I eat rice with it too. I don't like toast.
Yeah. So you eat rice for breakfast?
I eat rice for breakfast.
I'm like that. I'll eat lasagna for breakfast. Some people are like, it's not a breakfast food. I'm like, to me, there's no breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Your body doesn't know what it.
Yeah, why would it care? It's food. You can eat. I'll eat fish for breakfast.
Do you eat toast for lunch?
I would. I'd eat toast at any time.
Anytime.
I'd eat a toasted sandwich.
Exactly.
To me, yeah, there's no difference.
No difference. Yeah.
All right. Just tell them. I don't know what this means. Ash ya wash. You are both cool. Would love to meet you up in Toronto. Text Ash ya wash.
Ash ya wahsh.
What does that mean?
It means Ash means like go. Ya wahsh means you beast.
Go beast. All right. Well, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Who are your favorite YouTubers, or just one YouTuber, or whatever? It doesn't just have to be fitness. What do you like watching on YouTube?
Cars.
Cars.
Yeah.
So we have a lot in common.
I know.
I just bought the McLaren.
I know.
The 720S, and you just bought a Ferrari
F12.
F12, nice.
Yeah.
That's a great car. I was actually debating getting that one as well.
I was debating getting the 720S.
Yeah.
So what made you choose the 720S?
I wanted a 720 for about 2, almost 3 years. I saw a 570, and then I was like, oh man, the 720 is so much more power.
Yeah.
So I was really excited about that, but I ended up getting all these other vehicles, and I was like, well, I didn't have space, and I moved to a new house that has 7 spots that you can park. So I'm like, now's the time.
Why did you choose? So you said you were debating the Ferrari.
Honestly, the doors coming up for
That did it for
many
you?
years in my life was the thing. If the McLaren doors open normally, I wouldn't have gotten it.
Okay,
That was the difference.
So it's the suicide doors.
It had to be.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. We'll have to trade cars at some point. We just take each other.
Hey man, V12s are dangerous vehicles.
Yeah. What is this 0 to 100?
3.1, 3.2, 3.1. I think.
McLaren, I think it's
2.8.
2.7 or so.
2.7, 2.8.
It's gonna be fun.
Is it 720S or 720L?
720S.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. About around 2.8.
Yeah, I think it's 720 horsepower.
You
It should be, well,
you would kill me in a straight line. Not kill me, but you'd beat me in a straight line.
by a bit, yeah.
Yeah. But I think the F12. What I like about Ferrari and Heritage, and I'm a big Formula One guy.
Yeah.
Like I watch Formula One. Like tomorrow's Sunday. Gotta wake up in the morning.
That's your football.
That's my football.
Yeah.
Kids have to go in the basement.
Oh, nice.
Like
yeah.
no one exists in the main floor. No one use the internet because I need the internet speed. Because if it glitches, I'm gonna lose my mind.
The funny thing for me with cars is I don't know anything about. I have no tech skills. I can barely use this phone. You guys all know that.
I'm actually really also bad with
and stuff,
technology.
but I like the car. I can't tell you how it runs. I can't tell you why it works like this.
Really?
I can't speak to you the engine. But I'm like, I like driving it. I like the way it looks.
Fair enough. I mean, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it, right? Yeah.
Excited to see if you're gonna pronounce his name right. And so Aldura, is that right?
Aldura is right, but I think he means the first name.
Al.
No.
El.
Mahmoud.
Oh, Mahmoud.
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 Yeah. See?
Al Mahmoud Dura?
Yeah. No. Mahmoud Aldura.
Mahmoud Aldura. I got it.
Mahmoud.
Mahmoud.
Yeah. There we go. That's better.
Awesome.